Welcome everyone, my name's Claire.
And I'm John.
And today we're talking about Brazil election. This is a political article, but it's concerning a country that is very interesting and certainly seems very exciting to me that I would love to learn more about. So before we find out about the details of the recent Brazilian election, let's talk about Brazil itself. Do you know much about Brazil?
Not a whole lot. I know that it does hold a lot of the rainforest, so it's very important in that way. I know that it is the location of the Brazilian Love is Blind. It's a reality TV show, which was highly entertaining. The Brazilian one probably was the best among all of them. And I think would be a wonderful place to visit. Also, I think it was the location of some of the Fast and Furious movies. So again, it does have a good image in my mind. I love the Fast and Furious series. Love is Blind was a fun sort of thing. And then, of course, all the nature and beauty that surrounds the entire area. But it's huge, I heard. Yes,
yes. An enormous country, an enormous variety of people there. Including, its own little Korean community. My former husband, his uncle, moved out to Brazil when he was in his 20s, a bit of an adventurer, and never came back. Ended up setting up his own martial arts school out there, getting married, raising kids.
Naturally.
Obviously learning Portuguese and sort of getting in with the culture and absolutely loving it. Yeah. So, yes, I heard many good things.
Yeah. I've heard of a couple of my students who have tried to learn Portuguese. I don't know how successful they are, but they're trying. And they like the Brazil area.
Yes. I mean, I would be a little nervous about certain areas. Be careful at night. They can have some violence in some parts, but also massive tourist industry. So there are safer parts as well. So yeah, I would definitely like to visit. I do feel a little frustrated that they are Portuguese speakers because I know Spanish. Not perfectly, but I know enough to get by. So I could travel around the rest of South America easier than Brazil. But Brazil's the one I really want to see.
Learn Portuguese, And they're not similar. I mean, they're similar in origin, I guess, but not similar in a lot of ways. And so you can't get away with it. Not like going from Spain to Mexico and things like that.
I guess I have seen a little bit, after reading this article, I did a little bit of research, and I definitely noticed the campaign trail, the campaigning process seemed very different in Brazil to what I'm used to. Did you take a look at any of them giving their speeches or campaigning?
No, just this article, and just from the feeling of this article, I would say America does have a similar, these days America has a similar feeling to it, two very controversial camps who have sort of followings that are maybe a little bit too loyal to either one, and then people not conceding or people being very antagonistic along the campaign trail. So yeah, I did see some similarities between this article and what has happened in America in the recent past.
Yeah, again, I'm not American, but we do see a lot of the American presidential run-up and campaigning and so on in the UK. We take an interest. So yeah, I can see some similarities too.
Although I'd have to say the UK's parliament seems like a madhouse compared to Congress. Whereas in general, you would suppose that they were a bit more civil.
Well, yes, I think but it's like formalized, ritualized madness in the UK. Like there's so many weird terms and sort of gestures even that they have that highly ritualized, but they're still arguing, even though it's very formal and weirred.
Man, I love that guy. Order.
The Right Honourable Gentleman will sit down. The Right Honourable Gentleman.
I forgot his name, but he was my favorite.
The speaker is the one with the thing. Shut up.
Although he wouldn't say that, but
yes, not shut up again. He's got his own sort of polite phrase for shut up.
So let's go ahead and read the entire article, or if you don't have enough time, read that summary, and we'll see you soon.
Brazil election. After a very close election, Brazil is set to replace its right-wing president. President-elect Lula da Silva plans to pursue progressive goals, such as reducing poverty and protecting the environment. Lula is controversial because he was convicted in a bribery scandal and sentenced to prison. But Bolsonaro is controversial for many reasons as well. The latter still hasn't conceded the election as of this writing, and his supporters still control Congress, so Lula has probably got a tough job ahead of him.